Welcome back to another video here on the first Descendants. I just got my hands on Jayber, so I'm going to help you all to figure out exactly what the best build for this character. The leveling build and the max build is all going to be included. This is definitely one of the better characters in the game, and he's going to be a great player to have on a team. Let's figure out exactly how we're going to do this guy. As always, let's figure out on what this character does and how we use him. First off is the assault turret. Summons an assault turret to attack the enemy. If enhanced, it launches attacks to nearby areas. Next up is the medical turret. Summons a medical turret to heal allies and distracts enemies. When enhanced, it does restore your mana as well. The multi-purpose gun is going to be used for the turrets. What this does is changes a gun into a multi-purpose gun, and if you do shoot your turrets, it's going to enhance them and upgrade them. And then next we have Reactivate. It recalls all summoned turrets and inflicts a powerful damage to nearby enemies. After using Total Recall, you enter an overhaul state where turrets are summoned in their enhanced states. And lastly, attack increases when assault turrets and medical turrets are both summoned. So you're going to be getting an increase in damage when you do summon your turrets. So yeah, it's basically going to be all round turret based, and we want to focus on having our skill cooldown lower and our attack power for our skills higher. Which is not only going to include our skills, we also want to make sure that we're using very high powerful weapons. So let's talk about your leveling build for Jayber. Now it's obviously not going to be anything crazy, so obviously it's going to be a level 1 character or whatever level that you want. We're going to be starting off with these modules right here, okay? Increased HP, non-attribute specialist, increased defense, short sword, skill cost optimize, nimble fingers, and non-attribute master. So all round, what we're going to be doing with this leveling module setup, it's going to increase our skill cooldown, increase our defense and max HP, and also increase our skill power in order to not die as easily, but still be a very big help to our teammates and to ourselves if we're playing solo. Remember, this leveling build isn't going to be anything crazy, it's just to help you get started with the character and get a better understanding and also work towards the better gear. But if we're going to be looking at our max build for Jayber, this is what it's going to look like. Yep, there is a lot going on here. We have very high tier modules, upgraded modules, and some rare ones as well. So what exactly are they? So this is what it's going to look like. Alright, I know it seems a little bit confusing, some are empty, but some are definitely up there in the rare items. So, attack compulsion, increased HP, non-attribute specialist, defense accelerant, increased defense, non-attribute synctatum, short sword, skill cost optimize, nimble fingers, shield conversion, non-attribute master, and the last one is going to be empty. So what exactly do these do? So let's talk about the Descendant module that we have here. This is going to be for Endgame, okay? Now, the attack and compulsion is I'm gonna give you two different modules here to use. One is completely different to the other, alright? So this one is optional, replaces the healing turret with another assault turret, allowing you to have 2 assault turrets at the same time, dealing even more DPS. Now, this is what you want to use if you want Jayber to be not so much a support character. If you want to go full DPS, then use attack and compulsion. Now, there is another great Descendant module for you to use, and that's turret engineering. What this one does, it replaces the multi-purpose guns, but it also recovers HP and extends the duration rather than healing the turrets, okay? So instead of healing them with the module gun, this is going to recover its HP and extends the duration rather than healing them. So if we're going to be using attack compulsion as our main Descendant module, this is the setup you want to go for. These are the modules: increased HP, non-attribute specialist, defense accelerant, increased defense, non-attribute synctatum, short sword, skill cost optimize, nimble fingers, shield conversion, non-attribute master. Now let's have a look at the other Descendant module. It's kind of a little bit different to this setup. If we're going to be using turret engineering as our main Descendant skill module, we're going to be using its skill extension, skill expansion, skill cost optimize, range HP calculator, non-attribute master, dual claw, HP concentration, technician, increased shield, and technician once again. what weapons are great for Jayber? Now, for the best weapon, okay, we're going to be using the Enduring Legacy Machine Gun. You have to have your mastery rank up to level 15 in order to get this weapon, but this weapon is great because of its high DPS with a quick fire rate. It's going to suit Jayber's build great. So while we're using both summoned turrets, now for example, if you're going to be using 2 assault turrets at the same time, dealing a bunch of damage, we are going to be using a high fire rate, high damage output machine gun to cause even more DPS. And if you would like to know exactly what modules we're going to be using on this machine gun, these are them right there. This is probably going to be the best ones to use. Things might change over time, but this is a pretty good foundation for this weapon. Next up is a great choice, as well as pairing it up with the weapons, is Nezestra's Devotion Hand Cannon. Basically what this weapon is going to allow you to do is upon hitting an enemy's weak point, it's going to decrease their defense by 30% for about 3 seconds. That is great to be pairing it up with pretty much any build if you are good with your aim. Remember to just shoot an enemy in their crit spot, quickly switch and just deal as much damage as possible. Another great weapon that you could go ahead and put on if you wish to, this is going to be the Afterglow Sword Sniper Rifle. This basically what it does is after hitting an enemy's weak point, it's gonna do a buff called Death Propagation, which is basically gonna improve weak point damage by 5% and it can stack 5 times. And yeah, basically you're going to be getting extra critical rate when hitting commanders and colossi with this weapon, so you're going to be absolutely destroying higher and stronger enemies. Now, the best reactor for the character is we want something with a high skill power and sub power attack. Now, next we need to look for the reactor that's going to buff non-attribute and or dimension skills, as of Jayber's main damage and skills fall into these categories. So yeah, make sure you do have a look at your reactors and make sure non-attributes and or dimension skills are being buffed. And next up, also make sure that your reactor is going to boost your skill critical hit damage, in which is going to improve our damage dealt when we do hit our critical weak points. And also make sure your optimization condition is going to be with the weapons that you're going to be using. Highly recommend using something for machine guns or your sniper rifle. But if you are going to be going for the best build, I do highly recommend your machine gun for that. And lastly, if we're going to be talking about external components, we want to make sure that it's going to increase our max shield, max HP, and HP recovery, and also our defense, all round just upgrading our survivability. So that is basically it. Jayber is a great character. I'm currently ranking him up right now, trying to get that build worked on. As soon as I do have that build completely finished, I will go ahead and show you exactly how amazing this character is. You can pretty much solo any boss in the game, solo a lot of things with this character. Remember, he's going to be dealing a lot of damage while also being able to heal himself and heal allies. Buffing and debuffing enemies with the build is going to work great against bosses, against enemies, against solo play, against team play. Overall, great character. Let me know down in the comments if this video did help, and I hope that it really did, and I'll see you all on the next one.